Next question. Messrs KPMS Ltd wants to purchase Messrs BRB Ltd. So this is acquiring company and this is target company. By exchanging 0.7 of its share for each share of BRB Ltd. So exchange ratio is provided ready-made. Relevant financial data are as follows. Number of equity shares outstanding is provided to us. Earning per share is given to us. And market price per share is given to us. First question. Illustrate the impact of the merger on EPS of both the companies. That is the first question. Second, management of the BRB Ltd has quoted share exchange ratio of 1:1 for merger. Assuming, highlight the portion, price earning ratio of Messrs KMPS Ltd will remain unchanged after the merger. What will be the gain from the merger for BRB Ltd? That is the question. Find out gain or loss to the shareholders of acquiring company KPMS Ltd if exchange ratio is 1:1. Last question. Determine maximum exchange ratio acceptable to the shareholders of KPMS Ltd. That is the question. I request you to give answer for the first question and put your answer in the chat box. So friends, we understand that say earning per share is given to us, number of shares are given, product of both of them is the earning of acquiring company, earning of the target company, divided by the number of shares. Using the exchange ratio, we will compute that say what would be the shares that would be issued by acquiring company to the shareholders of the target company. So let us answer the question. Working note number 1, answer for the first question. Calculation of EPS of merged firm. In that, KPMS Ltd, BRB Ltd and merged firm. Earning per share. It is an amount of 40. It is an amount of 28. Number of equity shares. 20 lakhs and 8 lakhs. So earning is 80 lakhs and 224 lakhs. I'm sorry, 800 lakhs and 224 lakhs. So earning after taxes of the merged firm is 1024 lakhs. 800 plus 224. Number of shares of the merged firm. In that we understand it is 20 lakhs plus 8 lakhs into exchange ratio is 0.70. 8 into 0.7, 5.6 plus 20, 25.6. That will give the EPS 1024 lakhs divided by 25.6 lakhs. So that will give the EPS of 1024 divided by 25.6. 40 rupees per share. So first of all, EPS of the merged firm can be calculated. Next is, that is the answer. Calculation of profit or loss to shareholders of each firm. in that K Limited and B Limited. Post-merger will be compared with pre-merger. Pre-merger it is 40 and 28. Post-merger this is 40 as it is. And this is 40 into exchange ratio 0.70. That comes to 28. So profit or loss will be 0. Friends, logically we understand over here, one, there is no increase in the earning due to merger. Second, the exchange ratio 0.7 is using the current market, that is EPS, that is 28 upon 40. That is 0.7. That is the reason say we have a situation that say there is no gain or benefit due to, there is no change in the EPS of both the companies due to merger. That is what we understand. Now try to do answer for the second part of the question and put your answer in the chat box. Second part of the question speaks that the management of the target company, okay, BRB Limited means target company, never mind, has quoted share exchange ratio of 1. Okay, is to 1 does not make a sense. Is to other than 1 makes a sense. So they have demanded that the exchange ratio should be at least 1 for the merger. Very good information is given that the price earning ratio of acquiring company KPMS Ltd will remain same after the merger. What will be the gain or loss? That is the way we have to read it from merger for target company. Dear students, number of times I come across to a question from students that sir, this gain or loss is required to be found from EPS point of view or from MPS point of view. That is what the first question that they have. The answer to the question is very simple. It is required to be found from MPS point of view. Only in that case this price earning ratio information can be used. This is the way we are required to make the calculation of answer. So I request all of you to make calculation, that is right answer along with me. Answer for the second part of the question. Working note number 1. Calculation of price earning ratio of KPMS before merger. Sir, why do we make this calculation? Because post merger it is going to remain same. That is the reason say we are making calculation of the pre-merger price earning ratio. It is MPS upon EPS. Please write answer along with me. MPS is 250 and EPS is 40. So the answer is 6.25 times. This is the way first working note is required to be found. Working note number 2. Calculation of EPS of merged firm. It is earning after taxes of merged firm divided by number of shares of K plus number of shares of B into exchange ratio. This is what we understand. Earning after taxes of the merged firm is an amount of 1024 lakhs. Divided by number of shares of the K Limited is 20 lakhs. For B Limited, it is 8 lakhs into exchange ratio is 1. So 1024 divided by 28, that is 36.5714. This is the EPS of the merged firm. Working note number 3. Calculation of MPS of the merged firm. It is EPS of the merged firm into price earning ratio of the merged firm. What is EPS of the merged firm? It is 36.5714 into price earning ratio is 6.25 times. So 36.5714 into 6.25. That comes to 228.5713. Rupees per share. Okay. Now we'll make the final calculation of answer. Calculation of profit or loss to shareholders of BRB Ltd. In that we understand it is MPS of the merged firm into shares issued minus market value of BRB Ltd. What is MPS of the merged firm? It is 228.5713 into shares issued. We understand it is 8 lakhs into 1. That is 8 lakh shares have been issued. Minus its market value before merger. That is 8 lakh number of shares into 160 rupees. So 228.5713 into 8 lakh number of shares. That is rupees 1828.5704 lakhs minus 8 lakhs into 160. That is 1280 lakhs. So the answer is finally 548.5704 lakhs. So this is the way we can make the computation of the profit or loss, that is a profit, to shareholders of BRB Ltd. Even we can compute the profit or loss on the per share basis. Then it is 228.5713 minus 116. That comes to 68.5713. That is also a valid answer. So with paragraph write down a small note. As information is given of price earning ratio, comma, we have to compute answer from MPS point of view. Otherwise, price earning ratio information cannot be used. Full stop. Right on answer. Now again give answer for the third part of the question in your chat box. Dear students, we have to understand the third part of the question is in continuation of the second part. So in the third part of the question, we are required to compute from MPS point of view the gain or loss to the shareholders of the acquiring company. So let us answer the third question. We have to go logically, friends. Third question answer. In that calculation of gain or loss to shareholders of KPMS. It is found as MPS of the merged firm minus MPS of K into number of shares of K. MPS of the merged firm is 228.5713. 228.5713. Earlier it was 250. That is MPS of the K before merger was 250. And its number of shares are 20 lakhs. So 228.5713 minus 250. Loss is 21 rupees 4287 paise per share into 20 lakh is the number of shares. So 428.574 lakhs. This is the loss that you have. Write an answer. And give answer for the last fourth part of the question on your own. Put your answer in the chat box. So fourth part of the question, in that we are required to compute from the acquiring company point of view, what is the maximum exchange ratio acceptable to it so that my own MPS is not diluted post merger. So let us answer the question. MPS attributable to KPMS is equal to MPS of the merged firm itself. This should be at least 250. MPS of the merged firm is calculated as earning after taxes of K plus earning after taxes of B divided by number of shares of K plus number of shares of B into exchange ratio. So this will give the EPS multiplied with the price earning ratio of the merged firm. That is what we understand. So 250 is equal to earning is 800 lakhs of acquiring company. Then it is 224 lakhs of the target company. Divided by number of shares of the acquiring company, that is 20 lakhs. Target company, it is 8 lakhs into exchange ratio. Multiplying with the price earning ratio, that is going to remain same, that is 6.25. This. Okay. Now what will happen? This value will be transferred on the left hand side. This value. So it is 20 lakhs plus 8 lakhs into exchange ratio is equal to total of this two is 1024 lakhs into 6.25 divided by 250. Now what will happen? It is 8 lakhs exchange ratio is equal to 25,60,000. From this 20 lakhs transferred on the opposite side, so from positive it will become negative. Exchange ratio is 5,60,000 divided by 8 lakhs. That comes to 0.70. So what will happen, friends? That's the 0.70 is the exchange ratio which acquiring company can afford maximum for acquisition of the target company so that its MPS is not diluted post acquisition. Friends, it is a pure coincidence that say this 0.7 and the calculated answer 0.70 matches. It is not going to be always like that. It is purely coincidentally it happened like this, that say both the answers are same. This is the way we are required to make the calculation of answer. Now an additional point just to understand, for the purpose of doing fourth part of the question, understand that say we cannot go with the formula like this, that is MPS of BRB Limited divided by MPS of K Limited. Going with this formula would be wrong. That is 160 upon 250. Let us check the reason, let's say why we cannot go like this. It is 0.64. This method cannot be applied for the purpose of calculation. The reason behind that is like this. K Limited and B Limited and merge firm. As far as the K Limited number of shares are concerned, it is 20 lakhs. B Limited, it is 8 lakhs. Market price per share is 250. Market price per share is 160. So 20 into 250, that comes to 5,000 lakhs. 8 into 160, that comes to 1280 lakhs. So if at all there is a situation of no gain or benefit due to merger, the market value of the merged firm would be 6280 lakhs. However, friends, since the price earning ratio is same, that is the reason, say what happens, understand carefully. Market value of the merged firm is equal to MPS of the merged firm into number of shares of the merged firm. MPS of the merged firm is EAT of the merged firm divided by number of shares of the merged firm into price earning ratio of the merged firm into number of shares of the merged firm. So what will happen? This number of shares will get cancelled. Earning after taxes of the merged firm, it is 800 lakhs plus 224 lakhs into 6.25. So what will happen? 800 plus 224. So 1024 into 6.25. This comes to 6,400 lakhs. So basically what happens at the market value of the merged firm is actually 6,400 lakhs. And not only the summation of these two values. That is the reason, say going with the shortcut method is not possible, and we are required to say make the entire process for the purpose of making calculation of answer. And the last point that I want to tell you is that again we have to understand the question sequentially. In the second part of the question, we are required to compute the gain or loss to the shareholders of the target company if the price earning ratio is same. So we understand that say from MPS point of view we have to do answer. In the third part of the question, which is in continuation of the second, we have to compute the gain or loss to the acquiring company for the exchange ratio 1. And we find that say there is a loss. That is the reason, say in the fourth part of the question, from MPS point of view, we have to compute that say what is the maximum affordable exchange ratio that we have if not 1. So the last part of the question is required to be done from MPS point of view only. This is the way we are required to make the calculation of answer. So summary of the entire answer. In the first part of the question, we have been provided with the exchange ratio 0.7, and based on that, say we are required to compute the profit or loss to the shareholders of each firm, and we find it is 0,0 because there is neither increase in the earning and at the same time exchange ratio is based on the EPS. In second part of the question, we have been provided with the specific price, that is specific exchange ratio, and assuming the price earning ratio to be same, we have to compute the gain or loss to the shareholders of the target company. That is what we have done. In the third question, in the continuation of the second, we have to compute the gain or loss to the shareholders of the acquiring company. In the fourth question, we have to compute the maximum affordable exchange ratio to the acquiring company for acquisition of the target company. This is what we understand.